This year, we really expect to see significant strides towards inclusive climate solutions and even stronger commitment from all sectors to take decisive action. We've had conversations around energy transition and digital transformation at the UN General Assembly and the Climate Action Week as well. So at the United Nations Global Compact, we continue to focus on mobilizing businesses to align their strategies with climate goals. Nigeria, like many countries, is really grappling with the severe consequences of climate change, stemming from our very diverse geography and our socioeconomic conditions. And also, Nigeria's vulnerability is heightened by increasing temperatures, more frequent and severe extreme weather events, and changes in rainfall patterns. So these climatic shifts has really adversely impacted critical sectors like agriculture, water resources, and energy. For instance, regions in the north currently, they are facing growing aridity that is threatening food security and access to water. So while coastal areas are increasingly vulnerable to flooding and rising sea levels, so it's really intense. But this presents substantial risks to businesses also. It's affecting supply chains, production processes, and the workforce. So for us at the Global Compact, we keep saying that companies must implement adaptive measures to avoid transferring risks to their employees, their communities, or even downstream suppliers. So businesses encounter difficulties, a lot of them, in integrating climate adaptation, including narrow profit margins and sustainability efforts that has conflicted priorities between social and environmental goals and a lack of measurable objectives. So, although while Nigeria has developed a national framework to address these issues, not to forget we have a national framework for that, but overcoming these challenges requires more than just government intervention. It calls for strong collaboration with the private sector, the civil society, and international partners. And our goal must be to bridge the gap between policy and action that will ensure the most vulnerable communities are protected while also promoting sustainable economic growth. We are beginning to see that there's a very paradigm shift happening with the private sector. And as much as we don't want to exclude the private sector from the conversation, the opportunity and I hope I'll be talking about is that it is very encouraging to see businesses across various sectors that are really increasingly recognizing the importance of sustainability and actively pursuing investment in renewable energy initiatives. And their enthusiasm really aligns with our national objectives in Nigeria and across some parts of the world. And it opens new pathways for economic growth and innovation. So as much as Doctor has spoken about education, I will talk about the renewable energy side of things and also climate finance mobilization. So when we look at renewable energy, it stands out as one of the most promising sectors, and with the abundant solar energy potential, Nigeria, especially, the government is committed to enhancing the use of renewable energy resources, particularly solar and wind power, for both our grid-connected and off-grid solutions. So these initiatives are really essential, and it gives us hope, for addressing the country's energy shortages and advancing towards a low-carbon economy. Also, when you look at climate finance, Mr. Nganga had spoken earlier of that, what we'll be looking at in COP29. It's another significant opportunity for us. It plays a very crucial role in facilitating a just transition. It requires substantial investment for adaptation. So business now need to collaborate with financial institutions to develop innovative products and services that support sustainability goals. Then we look at strengthening supply chains. Supply chain resilience is a very crucial focus that can be achieved by supporting smaller suppliers and managing climate risks in a very holistic manner. So businesses can benefit from partnering with their local and regional governments to develop effective adaptation strategies, ensuring that the comprehensive approach is taken to addressing climate change. And we at the UN Global Compact, we consider ourselves the voice of the private sector. We will continue to support businesses on this journey. We continue to offer guidance, resources, and a collaborative platform to help them integrate sustainable practices and effectively tackle or navigate climate change challenges. So, and then working with the government is also important. We talk about public-private partnerships. We talk about supporting governments to implement policies that will support just transition and tackle climate change solutions. So the opportunities that lie therein is what we can really leverage and see how we can work together to really adapt and take care of these issues. So I think I touched that in one of my comments, but I'll still say that we as a Global Compact organization will continue to encourage the businesses, yes, to adopt sustainable practices, They have to continue to implement energy efficient technologies. They have to take actions to reduce their waste, look at recycling, sustainable sourcing, and really transitioning to renewable energy resources. That would go a long way. Then not to forget the importance of collaborating on projects that promote climate resilience. You look at afforestation programs, sustainable agricultural practices. People are planting trees here and there, and just really taking steps to migrate to the 1.5C pathway, work on setting science-based targets. So all of this will help to address climate change issues and really mitigate the impacts that it has when working or when taking actions or doing their corporate work. So I think also not to forget the importance of establishing clear, measurable and sustainability targets, engage in climate education, like Dr. mentioned earlier, to foster a culture of environmental stewardship and leverage cutting-edge technologies will help facilitate such sustainable business models. I think that will go a long way when corporate entities are taking action. They cannot just be excluded from the conversations. I mean, there are lots of conversations around excluding oil and gas companies when we talk about climate actions, at the global level. But I mean, my personal opinion is everybody needs to be a part of this movement. We cannot, if the stakes are too high for us to really take some parts and keep some.